Welcome to Azure Identity Fundamentals. So in this session, you'll learn about why identity is important, what Microsoft provides to help you manage identity, and what other features you can start to use when you start engaging with cloud-based identity services. Like all of our sessions here at Ignite, you can find the resources afterwards, including a recording of this session and a copy of the slide deck to download at these short links. When I first started in tech, security was so much easier. The only way that you could access company data and applications was by swiping in your card into the building, walking in and sitting down at a corporate-owned computer and putting in your login credentials to get access to the stuff you needed to. We isolated our file servers behind firewalls nowhere near the internet, and that's when the internet was just becoming a thing. And it was just so much easier to protect that kind of stuff. But the problem that we've got nowadays is that people want to be able to access data from wherever they are and from whichever device they use. And we need to enable our business to have that kind of access and agility. What that's meant is that identity has become a new security control plane. Validating who you are literally gives you the keys to the kingdom when it comes to accessing that corporate information. And that's why we see a rise in phishing attempts. It is much easier for the hackers to go after you and get some user to log in with their valid credentials to a dodgy website and then go ahead and use them than it is to try and hack through some of the other access systems and firewalls that we put in place to protect our environment. So we have to think smarter. If we're securing resources behind a valid set of credentials, how else can we get you to prove that when you use those credentials, it really is you? And now that Microsoft has some visibility into that login behavior that's happening, how can we analyze those behaviors and protect you for anything that looks risky? Identity starts with authentication and authorization. And authentication is the process of proving you are a valid person who exists in the system and should have access to things. So authentication is done by providing something that you know, like your password, something that you have, like a 2FA code that you've been sent by SMS, or something that you are, like biometrics, fingerprint scanning, Windows Hello facial recognition, that kind of thing. So now we've proven you are you, and you do exist in the system as someone who should be able to have access. Authorization kicks in. And authorization is the next level of going, what apps and resources can this user account access? What data within those apps and places can they access, and what level of access do they have to that information? Do they have access to do anything? Do they have read-only access? All of those kind of things. So together, that authentication and that authorization make the basis of our identity and access. Tailwind Traders, our amazing customer, have some goals about what they want to do with identity and access. And like anything with technology, it really is about matching the capabilities and the products to what they're trying to achieve. To start with, they want to make it as easy as possible for their users, because we know what happens when you make it hard for users to do things. They try and get around the system. So let's make it as easy as possible for them to get access to the stuff that they need while still knowing that that's secure. We want to be able to safeguard those credentials as much as possible, encourage our users to use good password behavior and not reuse and share them. And we want to analyze and protect the access attempt. We don't want to wait and find out later on because someone read it in a log file that there was an attack happening or something dodgy going on. So if we can real-time monitor and detect risk and block that, that's going to provide a better, safer, secure environment. So how do we do all that? Let's break it down into a few steps. First of all, Tailwind Traders want to use a single identity for both their on-premises and their cloud resources. Their users don't want to have to remember 2 different usernames and passwords to log in, and their IT staff don't want to have to manage different systems for different applications where the user accounts live. And we also want to enable our customers to use their own credentials to access some of our online resources. So Tailwind Traders are putting some applications in the cloud for customers to log into. They don't want to add every single customer into their corporate directory. So we've got a solution for that too. We want to enable self-service password reset. Nobody wants to call the help desk and wait until their password is reset. It slows down their access to the information, and to be perfectly honest, it's really not the most fun job for our help desk staff to be doing either. We want to stop our employees from using known compromised passwords, get rid of some of those nasty ones that are out there, block the obvious ones. As I said, we want to analyse the sign-in risk as it happens and put the appropriate controls on it. The appropriate controls does not mean you will get bugged for a 2-factor authentication code every damn time you log in, even when you're at your desk in the office. Nobody wants that. But we do want to be able to respond automatically to things that look suspicious. So let's protect stuff at the source as it happens. So how do they get started? How does Tailwind Traders customize Azure Active Directory and configure some administrative permissions? Let me show you. To start with, when you fire up Azure Active Directory or any of our Azure services, you will get a default directory. And the default directory will have this amazing onmicrosoft.com name, which isn't really so amazing. And so we don't want your organisations to have to log in as so-and-so company name.onmicrosoft.com. That's the first thing that we want to fix. So we can do that by going into custom domain names. Now, Tailwind Traders have got tailwindtraders.com and tailwindtraders.org, and we're going to add that into their environment. Adding it's one thing, but we need to prove that we actually own that environment. So I don't want you to go and be able to spin up an Azure Active Directory and add in a custom domain name for like coca-cola.com if you're not Coca-Cola or one of those other customers. You have to prove that you own that domain name. And the way we do that is by getting you to add something into the DNS records for your domain name that we can then go and check and prove that it's really you. So we give you a unique value here to add to a text record. Now, Tailwind Traders manage their DNS in Azure, so they're going to go ahead and add this new record into their DNS. All they need to do is choose that it's a text record and paste in the value that has been provided to them from Azure Active Directory. Now, that'll be a fairly common process even if you're not using Azure to manage your DNS, and then we'll go ahead and verify it. Now, we're not going to wait for DNS to replicate. I don't know if you've done anything with DNS before. Sometimes these records take a little time to update. So we've kind of time sliced and fast forward this and verified it. If you don't get it verifying automatically on the first time, that'll be why. DNS just needs to catch up for a minute. And we will also go ahead now that that's verified and we'll make that the primary domain. So now that it's the primary domain, any new users we set up are automatically going to get that tailwindtraders.org. Now that onmicrosoft.com name doesn't really ever go away, but now at least we've got our custom domain name in there as well, and we've got it set by default. So let's go in and add a new user. I'm going to start building up this directory and I want to add another global administrator to help me manage it. I'm going to go and put in all the regular suspects. You can see it's put that name as primary because we added that custom domain. Put in all the details for the name. Now, my demo uses a name of secondary administrator. I do that because it makes it a little bit easier to see the difference between the first admin I set up and the second one that I set up. Please don't use generic names. Use real usernames. Makes it a lot easier to prove exactly who it was that did the thing. So we'll go in and it will automatically give us a password for that secondary administrator user. I'm going to go and copy that because I'm going to use it in a minute. and we'll go ahead and create the user. It's not much different than creating a user in any other system. Let's log in with them. And of course, what happens the first time you log into a new system? Generally, it's going to ask me to change that password, which is a good thing because it was a horrible password anyway. So we'll sign in with the one that it provided, go and update that password. And now we're signed in to Azure and we can have access to that Active Directory. We don't actually have access to do much yet. So what we did was created a new user account, but I want that user account to be one of my admins. So I'm going to go into Roles and Administrators and scroll down the built-in roles that give us access to do different things. And I'm going to make this person a global administrator. So if I go in and add the assignment for the secondary administrator to make them a global admin, now they will be able to do all the things that my primary global admin can do as well. And we'll talk about roles in a minute. So Azure Active Directory, it is our cloud-based identity service that helps us put those things into the cloud so that we can access all these different kind of resources. When we talk about some of those concepts, we have something called an Azure Active Directory tenant, or also known as a tenancy. There's a little bit of debate between tenant and tenancy. It's kind of like some people using on-premises versus on-premise, which is a whole nother conversation we do not have time for today. But we'll just go with tenant because it's in the documentation. And what it is the container that has all of the things about your organization inside it. Regardless of which of Microsoft's products and services you use, they all live inside this one directory service for your organization. Now, as I said, you can add these custom domains that on Microsoft.com can't be changed or modified, but we can add our new ones. So here's my tip. If you don't want that on Microsoft.com name at the start to be super ugly and irrelevant, go in and create an Outlook.com account with an account name, a username, that closely matches your organization, because that's what it uses to base on when it creates that first Azure Active Directory tenancy. So I spoke about roles, and we made that secondary administrator a global administrator. Global administrator is God-level access. They can do everything inside Azure Active Directory, so that's why you want to protect that a little bit. We have a bunch of other roles that break down the granularity to let people do less things than global admin, which is a good thing. And we've also just announced some new ones. So there's 16 new AAD roles that have recently been announced, including a global reader, which gives them access to all the things that the global administrator can see, but they can't change anything. And things like password administrator, where all that person can do is change passwords for accounts that do not have admin access. Azure Active Directory does not have domain controllers as we know them. There is nowhere to go in and have a look at the health of your domain controllers. You don't need to manage the replication of them. And I think that's on. Here we go, no domain controllers. You don't have to manage the replication between different cloud regions. So if it's in Azure Active Directory, we make sure that it replicates to the right places so your users can log on no matter where in the world they are. And there are no organizational units. This is a flat structure. If you're used to Active Directory on-prem where you have everything tiered with OUs, there's none of that in Azure Active Directory. That's one of the biggest differences. We also have a product called Azure Active Directory Domain Services. That's a little different. I'm not going to go into it in a fundamental session. You can go away and dig into it if you need it. But what Azure AD Domain Services does is it allows you to sign in to Linux and Windows virtual machines using Azure AD credentials. Office 365 and Microsoft 365. We find a lot of customers that get started with those in the organization as the first port before they go and do anything in Azure. Guess what? You've got an Azure Active Directory. It becomes the container for those user accounts for Office 365 and Microsoft 365. And you can actually go into Azure with your O365 account if you've got the right admin access and see the directory and the user accounts that are in there. But remember, O365 and Microsoft 365 have their own admin centers for you to do the administration of those services because they have service-specific settings in them for your users. So we talked a little bit about Active Directory on-prem. And I'm going to show you how Tailwind Traders will go and set that up. So we've got this secondary administrator account, but back on our on-premises environment, we've got an Active Directory controller, and you can see that we've got a bunch of user accounts. So these are the user accounts of the people that are logging into our PCs. We're going to run Azure AD Connect. This is going to be the sync engine between our on-prem and the cloud. We're going to agree to the privacy and the terms, and we can actually just start off with the express settings. We don't need to get too deep into the weeds here. First of all, we're going to put in a global admin account for our Azure AD. So which identity can we use to get access to sync the things into Azure AD? And then we're going to put in a local administrator for our on-prem Active Directory because we need access to be able to read into those accounts that are on-prem as well. Go ahead and do a bunch of things, hit the install button, it goes and works its magic with its sync services. And we really don't have to do much else. It's going to set up that connection between our on-premise environment and our Azure Active Directory and start syncing through those user accounts. So now if we switch back and have a look at our Active Directory in Azure and reload it, we'll start to see some of those user accounts coming through. Here we go. So all of those ones that we had in AD are now in Azure AD. We're going to pick on one of our users, Cheryl. We can see that it's actually brought through the source as being the Windows Server AD. Cheryl can now go and sign in with the same user account that she's been using on-prem. Pop in the password that she was using on-prem. We'll talk about passwords in a minute. And now she's signing into Azure. So we didn't need to go and create a separate account for her. It's linked to the identity that she's already been using. And Cheryl is a happy user. So we've talked a little bit about, what's that one? Azure Active Directory. So we've talked about how that syncs up. Here's a little bit of an architecture diagram to show you, in essence, what that Azure AD Connect piece of software does. It has been improved in leaps and bounds since it first came out. We're always making improvements to it, and there were a few more improvements announced recently. So only yesterday we were talking about Azure AD Connect for disconnected forests. What that means is that if you acquire another organization who has Active Directory and you're trying to bring them into the fold as well, we now give you the capability to help connect those up into your Azure Active Directory as well. But by syncing these identities between on-premises and Azure, it enables you now to do the things like the single sign-on, the multi-factor authentication, and a self-service password reset. Let's talk about passwords. We never, ever, ever, ever copy your password from your on-premises AD into Azure. Your passwords stay on-prem. What we do is we copy up the password hash. So how this works is an algorithm gets run against your on-prem password, a cryptographic algorithm that cannot be reverse engineered. That comes up with a maths equals X. X gets replicated up to the cloud. When I sign into the cloud and I put my password in, it runs the same cryptographic algorithm against what I've entered to see if it also equals X. If it also equals X, then I must have typed in the same password and I'm good to get logged in. If I didn't type in the same password, the result isn't going to equal X and it's not going to let me in. So that's how it can check and confirm that the password you're entering into the cloud is the same one that you used on-prem without ever knowing what that password was. Pass-through authentication is a different way of achieving this kind of thing. And password authentication is for organizations who don't even want to sync password hashes to the cloud. You might be really heavily regulated, and that's going to set off some compliance issues. So with pass-through authentication, you can actually set it so that when that login request comes in to Azure AD, it literally passes it through to the domain controllers that are on-prem, and they do the authentication, and then pass a yes or a no back to Azure AD to let you in. Both of those give us this seamless single sign-on where it's easy to administer for the admins, and it's a lot easier for the users to log in as well. And then we can then extend to things like single sign-on. Sign on once on your corporate machine and have access to both your on-prem and your cloud resources without having to sign in again. So how does Tailwind Traders give external users access to resources? Remember, I said that they did want to have some applications that they can use in there. So in Azure Active Directory, they're going to go in and create another user, but they're going to create a guest user. And for the guest user here, they're going to invite somebody with an Outlook.com account. So they put in all the normal details, add a bit of a personal message in there so someone knows that it's not a phishing scam, and tell them that you're going to give them access. Send off that invitation. And so what the user is going to see is this invitation coming through to say that they've been invited to join Tailwind Traders. They're going to click on that and accept it, and bang, they're in. And they've got access to some applications in there too, and we can go and assign application access to what we want them to see. Now if we go in to the all users, now we can see that in this list we've got this little globe that's appeared. So now we've got extra Tailwind. That was the external guest user that we've just invited in using that Outlook.com account. And if we go into extra Tailwind, it actually shows me here that the source is the Microsoft account. We can do that, and we didn't actually get them to log in with any other ID other than the fact that they were signed in with their Outlook.com account, and we trust that because we know that that Microsoft account is an identity service that we trust. So Microsoft accounts. It's another identity service from Microsoft. It is a consumer-based service. It doesn't have all of the enterprise-grade features and SLAs that our customers need. And you will never, ever be able to sync identities between Microsoft accounts and the other corporate services. We put this wall between them to give us this real trust separation between business-grade services and consumer accounts. It's a safety thing. We've got another couple of services too that again are outside of the scope of fundamentals but worth noting so that you know that they exist. Azure AD B2B, or business to business, allows organizations to share files and information and give access to users that are in other organizations that already have Azure Active Directory. Biggest bonus in this is if you're sharing with external partners and they leave, who's going to tell you? So if we can sync our Active Directories together to form this trust relationship, if they leave their organization, hopefully they're going to get blocked and removed out of the system by their HR people, and now they're not going to be able to get access into your resources either because they can't authenticate in their own AAD, and you don't have to do that management in your own directory. Azure AD B2C is very similar, but that's for consumer-facing accounts. So, for example, if I log into Pinterest, I can log in with my Facebook account. That's a good example of B2C where we've got a business app that we're putting out as Tailwind Traders, but we want consumer services like those identity services to let you log in with those credentials. Next up, how can Tailwind Traders allow users to reset their own passwords? It's a very handy thing to be able to do. So, self-service password reset is a thing that we're going to need to enable here. I will give you a caveat that self-service password reset needs either Azure AD P1 Azure AD P2 or Microsoft 365 Business licensing. This does not come out of the box with the free levels of Azure AD. You need to upgrade to one of those. For the purposes of this exercise, and guess what? You can do this too if you haven't had a trial before. I'm just going to go and spin up a P2 trial to test this out for Tailwind Traders. So they've added some P2 trial licenses, and as happens with licenses, we then need to assign who uses them. Now, Azure AD Connect is the thing we need to go back and reconfigure in here. So if you remember, we went through the Express settings before. The Express settings did automatically turn on password hash sync, but they didn't turn on password write back. So password write back is when I log into the cloud and I change my password, and that answer to that algorithm changes, I now want the ability to write that new answer back into my on-prem directory. So that new password's going to work on-prem for them as well. That's not turned on by default. So we just need to go back in, rerun AD Connect, go through some of the settings again. Again, it's going to ask me for that admin credentials. And it's going to step me through a couple of those. And here we've got this password write back tick box. This is the one that we're going to turn on now. And it's just going to reconfigure that, do the sync, and write the changes to those password hashes back to on-prem. We'll jump in and go and see Cheryl. Now, there is another little trick that I'm going to show you. When you sync users from on-prem AD up into the cloud, you get a whole bunch of new settings for those users that weren't relevant. And one of them that you need for self-service password reset is location. So with this one, we're going to go and set the usage location for Cheryl. Now I'm going to do this individually for her. If you're doing this in bulk for a bunch of users, you can use PowerShell commands to set this. So we're going to update Cheryl's user profile. And we're going to license her for one of those P2 licenses. Now we can break this down into groups of people, but we're just testing with Cheryl at the moment, so we'll give that license to her. And we'll make sure that we turn on that P2 license so she can take advantage of this. Okay, so we've got a couple of users that are licensed here. Let's go into our password reset. So our self-service password reset, we're going to turn it on. And we can just turn it on for selected users if we want to. And now we need to set the authentication methods. If you're going to reset a password, you need to be able to do some double sort of proof that the person resetting the password is allowed to do that. So there's a bunch of methods that are available. We're going to turn on security questions and turn off mobile phone SMS. And we can set the number of questions they require to register. Now there are a bunch that Microsoft puts in here by default. We're going to tick a few of those. And we can select more security questions than the person actually needs to use. But we can also have the ability to do some custom ones. So here we go. Who's your least favourite sibling? We'll throw that in as a secret question. I don't think you'll ever find that in any other system. It's great fun to make up your own. So go ahead and save that, and now we've got some of the questions. And we'll go into registrations, and we'll tell Cheryl. So when she logs in now, she's going to get this prompt to say more information required. So we haven't had to send her out an email to say, guess what, you've been enabled for self-service password reset, can you please go and do the thing? As soon as she logs in, it's going to give her a prompt that we are asking her for some more information. So here's our security questions. Now we're only going to force her to set up a couple. She's going to go through and select the ones that she's happy with and put in her answers. And of course Cheryl's Australian, so all of her answers are Australian cities. And it's fairly simple for the users to do. You know, in a world where they're using SaaS applications online anyway, people are pretty familiar with doing this kind of process. So that's all she needs to do to pre-register to be able to reset her passwords. If we go in and try it, and we'll enter in and click on Can't Access Your Account. Can't access your account, again, it's a fairly similar process for resetting a password. Enter in your credentials, prove that you're not a robot. And now she's being prompted for some of those security questions. So she'll randomly get 3 out of how many we chose. And she has to answer those quickly, pop in a new password. So now she was able to get back into her account really quickly. She didn't need to call the help desk. And she's up and running. And then when she goes back to her on-premises account, she can log in with the same thing. I've told you all the reasons why self-service password reset is a good thing. It's something that we haven't really been able to sort out for on-premises users because it's a lot trickier, but with that integration that we can do it for these ones. And so now let's look at that monitoring. How do we detect that things are risky? Good news is Microsoft does it for you. We can't see login behavior to your on-prem Active Directory. We do get to see the signals of the behavior of the login attempts that are coming to your Azure AD. So how can Tailwind Traders make sure that a user has to take on some extra steps to identify themselves if they're performing a sign-in that looks slightly out of the ordinary? We do that with conditional access policies. So we go into our Active Directory and come down to our policies, and we're going to add in a new location. Putting locations in means that we can start to reduce the number of false positives. So if we know that users generally log in from this country or this particular office, we can put in IP address ranges if we want. But here we're going to go in and put in the details of the country where these locations are known. Now we can use known locations to allow things. We can also use known locations to deny things. So you can deny logins from random countries that you don't trust. Now we can go ahead and create a new policy. So we'll go and give it a name, and we can start to break it down. Who is the policy going to apply to? I'm going to set it to all users. It's going to give me a warning. Hey, guess what? My admin account is a user. So I'm stepping into a little bit of dangerous territory here if I go and make stuff and then realize it's applying to my admin account as well. What do I want it to apply to? Some apps, some accounts. I'm going to go all cloud apps, and hey, the Azure portal is a cloud app as well. So again, it really wants to make sure that I'm not going to lock myself out of the portal. And now, what conditions are we going to apply? So I'm going to say that when the sign-in risk is detected as being high, I want this policy to apply. I don't have to define what risky behavior is. Microsoft will automatically detect and categorize what's high, medium, low, and not risky. So when Microsoft detects that it is looking pretty risky, what do I want to happen? Can I block access completely? Do I want to grant access? Do I want them to jump through some extra hoops? And I'm going to say, look, maybe I want to require MFA or make them be logging in from a compliant Intune device, or make sure that the device is Azure AD joined, and I can say, actually, I want them to do all of those things or just one. If they pick one and pass that test, then I'm happy to let them in. Go and enable that policy, and we are really trying to make sure you do not lock yourself out of your own systems. So I'm going to go ahead and exclude the current user so that the person that is configuring this policy isn't going to get blocked by that. So with Azure AD Conditional Access, we look at the conditions surrounding the login attempt, the person, the device that they're using, the location that they're signing in from, those kind of things. And we actually process 171 terabytes of login information a day. Now, this used to be 40. I had to update it yesterday after seeing the new data. And we do some evaluation on it using our machine learning algorithms to come up with how risky that package of behavior is. Is it Sonia sitting in the Microsoft office in Brisbane, or is it Sonia's account logging into an internet cafe in a foreign country? We then give that a session risk and put the controls in that you have defined. Do you want to allow or block access? Do you want to require multi-factor authentication? Do you want to block it completely? And then get access to your cloud resources, your SaaS applications, and your on-premises apps. I'm going to show you something really quickly called Smart Lockout, which blew my mind as an on-prem sysadmin. So we're used to somebody stuffing up their password enough times that it eventually locks their account out and doesn't let them in. With Smart Lockout, we can have someone who's normally logging in from Redmond, and we keep two different counters, a familiar location and an unfamiliar location. If they log in from a known location that's familiar, the familiar counter will stay unchanged. If they log in with the wrong password from that same location, it's going to register that as a failed login attempt. Do that a couple of times and we're upping that counter. Log in the third time with the right password, resets the counter, lets them in. No more Monday typos for you. If we've got someone logging in from a completely different location, Little Tasmania at the bottom of Australia, if they go and log in, it's going to set a different counter that someone has logged in from an unfamiliar location. They're going to log in a couple of times and then it's going to lock them out. But guess what? The user in Redmond has no idea that this has happened, and they try their password and log in and they get in successfully. So now we've actually managed to lock the account from the bad guys, but we're still letting the good person get in when they put in their password correctly. I thought that was good. Okay, so passwords are horrible because we just use common ones and we reuse them all the time. With password spray attacks, we've got hackers that are stealing these password lists off the dark web and trying to get in with them, especially if you use them on more than one service. And we've never had a native service to ban common passwords in AD natively. There are some third-party tools and plugins that you can do that, but it hasn't been part of our product. I'm going to skip through this demo because I am conscious of time, but we have an ability to block passwords. We have a custom banned password list where not only is Microsoft blocking stuff, but you can go in literally to the screen here, which is in Azure Active Directory, and type in this list of custom banned passwords. The things that you don't want to use. It might be organizational names, it might be product names. If you're in Redmond, it might be the Seattle Seahawks. All of those kind of familiar terms that you don't want popping up, and we can extend that back to Active Directory. So that password protection can now protect your Active Directory sign-ins as well and people from using common passwords. That's the architecture of it. It's a little bit technical. If you want to dive into how to set that up to protect your on-prem AD, you can go and find that stuff. Because nobody likes passwords. They're horrible. We do. We use the same ones. When people get them, they can log in as us. And then we end up, on Have I Been Pwned with password breaches and in the headlines in the news, and it's just all generally bad. So Microsoft is on a mission to replace passwords. Things like Windows Hello for Business do that already with logging in with your facial recognition and not needing to key in a password. We've now announced last year that Microsoft Authenticator will now do passwordless authentication as well. And if you're using Microsoft Authenticator for those two-factor authentication codes, it's a slightly different experience. So with the Microsoft Authenticator, you would go in, put in your username into a system, and it pops up a code on the website for you. And the Microsoft Authenticator will also pop up this little code that's shown, and you have to choose in Authenticator which code is actually showing on that login screen for that app. And you haven't needed to type in your password. And then we've also got our Microsoft compatible security keys, our FIDO2 keys that will do a biometric to unlock the key, and then the key will automatically give you access to the system without needing to type in your password. Common myth, some people think if you've got a FIDO key, if you lose the key and someone gets it, they get access to the system. Not true. They still need to do biometric ID against the device key itself to be able to unlock it and get in. So, Tailwind Traders came up with a bunch of these identity goals, and this is what we've managed to achieve. They've used a single identity now because they're syncing between AD and the cloud. They've got external access for customers that want to log in with their own accounts already. Our users can reset their passwords and use their new password on-prem. And with that custom ban password list, we've thrown in a few that they can't use anymore, that we're going to ban them from being able to try. We're analysing the sign-in risk, and when we're detecting risky behaviour, we're going to make people jump through a couple of extra hoops to prove who they say they are. If this has whet your appetite for some things that you might want to go and try in your own organisation, I've picked a couple of my favourite sessions on identity. There are lots of them. If you search for Azure Active Directory in the catalogue, there are a ton. The new features and roadmap session was really interesting. This was actually held yesterday. I've popped the session code up there for you to go back and watch the recording of it. And then there's one in particular about modernising on-prem application security, so how you use this to extend access to your on-prem apps, which is on Thursday. And then there's one about identity provisioning on Friday morning that talks a little bit more about the process of how we link it together when we create new users, so we don't have to go and create them in a bunch of different systems. There's also a Microsoft learning path. There is some identity content there at the moment, possibly more for Microsoft 365 and the exam prep stuff, but we have big plans coming up for more identity content. And if you do think of anything else that you want to see, especially in Microsoft Learn for that kind of content or documentation, ping me on Twitter. Come and check out our team blog at itopstalk.com, where we talk about sysadmin and IT ops, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud. And that is my session. Thank you very much for your time.